Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for coming to this week's edition of Oil Camp. We are Instagram live and live via Zoom. And if you're watching this on YouTube, this is kind of a two-parter. So tonight we're going to be talking about safety in the sun. And next week is going to be one of our DIY classes at my house where we're going to be making the things. So that's going to be really fun. We have limited spots available, so be sure to sign up. Comment below, message me, however you want to get in contact with me to get your spot all signed up for. We'll get that done. And I mean, I don't know about you guys, but here in Richland, where my brother's at, where I'm at, and then back home in Boise, the sun is ridiculous right now. The heat is crazy. I think last week in Richland, it got up to 117 or something like that. It's wild. So really being safe with the sun and knowing how to use our oils, knowing how to use different tools to be able to protect our skin. It's the largest organ of the body, right? So we want to be able to do that. So since it is the largest organ of the body, our skin is, we have a lot of surface area where we can have a lot of different toxins come into play and things like that. So we want to protect it. And a lot of people are hearing about vitamin D. Oh, well, I have to be in the sun so I can get my vitamin D. Okay, yes, you do, your body can produce vitamin D, but there are other sources that you can get your vitamin D from, like different fish and different nuts and foods and things like that. And it's not about being out in the sun for, hours and hours on end. And and it's not, we'll talk about tanning booths as well here in a minute, but that's also a topic of discussion. But you can supplement your vitamin D, like vitamin D3, things like that. You don't need to bake your skin every day to get the vitamin D that you need. Okay, so with how sunscreen works, you have several different molecules. You have an actual physical blocking of the sun's rays, and then you also have there's a way that there's like a chemical blocking of the sun's rays, and there's some benefits and there's some things to think about in regards to safety with that. And so the ones that you want to watch out for, some different ingredients that are not classified as safe by the FDA is, and I'm probably going to butcher these names, but avobenzone, oxybenzone, octinoxate, sure, octisalate, and octicrylene, sure. So if you don't want to memorize that list, you can just memorize the list of the things that are safe. So there's
and I was going to say, Lisa, if you can't pronounce it, then be wary.
Yeah, exactly. If you can't pronounce it, you probably want to watch out for it. So there are only two protecting ingredients that have been classified as safe by the FDA. Hi, Sarah. And that is zinc oxide and titanium oxide. All right. These are one of those physical blockers. All right. The zinc oxide and titanium oxide creates a physical block. It's like literally being in the shade. You're making shade for your skin by putting this on. Okay. You're blocking all these different things. They are, and then the other ones, those other ones that we mentioned that are not considered safe, those ones are typically absorbers. Okay, they're absorbing those different rays and protecting the skin that way. Protecting the skin. Okay, so one of the tricks that I use, I think Lorelei told me this, or Nicole, or I don't know, somebody cool like that. They said that they've used the doTERRA's, the diaper rash cream, doTERRA's diaper rash cream, because one, this stuff is great. It has 25% of the zinc oxide. So they say to have a minimum of 10 is what's considered, like 10% zinc oxide to be considered a sunblock. The ones that I researched that were also at that 25% level were considered SPF 50. So this at that 25%, it could be, I mean, it's obviously it's a diaper rash cream, but so it doesn't have like a SPF on there. But if we're judging it off of that, then it's really great. So it has that, then the zinc oxide, and I was using it today. I put a lot on. At first I looked a little bit white, but it absorbed in and stuff, and it's fine. Like, and it worked really well. We were out on the boat, so not only with the sun beating down, but the reflecting off the water and things, and it worked really well. Like I said, it has that zinc oxide, and it has a lot of different great essential oils. Lavender, carrot seed, tea tree, it helps balance and soothe the skin. So not only are we protecting it, but we're also supporting the skin's ability to regenerate and all of those things. And like I said, I have the 25% zinc oxide here, and no parabens, like none of the bad stuff in it that we don't want in there. Okay, so UVB versus UVA. Now UVB, there are two different rays that kind of come from the sun typically when we're talking about. So ultraviolet B, ultraviolet A. The B is the one that we will kind of make the vitamin D from, and the A is typically more like a with the sunspots and the wrinkles and different things like that. And so sometimes those different absorber of ingredients, they have varying amounts of UVB and UVA. The US actually doesn't require to show, like, okay, you have the SPF on there, but it doesn't, you're not required to break down how much of the UVB versus UVA, like the percentage that you're blocking, like they do in Europe. Europe has a little higher standards regarding that. And so when you're wanting it, at least make sure you're looking for that it's broad spectrum, okay? That it's broad spectrum protection in your sunscreen. And yes, that zinc oxide, titanium oxide, it is a broad spectrum protection. So you're getting protection from both. And make sure this is not a one and done type of thing. Make sure that you are reapplying to protect your skin, and make sure, hey, this is another thought here where some of these other ingredients, the toxic ingredients that are not considered safe, their research is showing that it's building up within your body. Okay, it's building up within your body. They're endocrine disruptors. So look up anything with the endocrine system, you'll realize like it affects so much of our bodies, right? So we definitely want our endocrine system working properly. And if you are reapplying these different things every couple of hours, like they suggest, then you're just absorbing so much, rather than having that layer of actual protection, that physical protection, like with the zinc oxide or titanium oxide. And then just a little tip here, make sure you're looking at your expiration dates on things so that it is staying good to go. That's another thing of, yeah, the little diaper rash cream that I use, it's a little guy, but I don't have to then worry about, I'm probably going to use that puppy up before it's going to expire, right? And there are some different DIY ones in regards to sunscreen and stuff like that. And we'll talk more about that next week. I do, just another little plug, make sure that you sign up for next week's class where we're going to be doing fun in the sun, DIYs, talking about all these different fun sun recipes and things like that. So we also want to think about extra protection. And some essential oils are wonderfully protective to our skin and helping the skin regenerate and protect itself. I did, as I was researching this, I did run across some things that claimed that essential oils had their own SPF to them, that there were some oils that did have some level of SPF. So that's one of the things that I'm really wanting to look into. Had either of you guys looked into that at all and noticed that at all in your research?
I haven't.
Okay, so if you do run across it, because I didn't put it on here just because I hadn't done the full research on it of how they qualified that. And yeah, but as soon as I find out about that, I definitely will show you guys. Okay, so, I wanted to skip that one. So obviously skin cancer is a big problem. That is why we are wanting to protect our skin and shield our skin from the rays from the sun. Basically everybody knows at least one person who has been affected by cancer in some way, shape, or form, right? So protecting ourselves and taking care of our skins is super important. So you have different times of the day that after peak afternoon time, really one of the best things you can do is to really seek shade and be careful because different surfaces can be reflective too. The sun, water, things like that, where you might not think that it is an issue. So where, oh, I'm safe, I'm underneath whatever, but it's reflecting up at you. So try to really take the time to get out of that. Even on cloudy days, 80% of the sun's rays still get through the clouds. Okay, so make sure even then that you are being safe. And you might think, well, I don't burn. Maybe you have a high melanin content, maybe you have darker skin, and you think, oh, well, I don't burn. Or maybe she doesn't burn here on the picture. Well, that's not actually accurate. The skin with its own natural pigmentation can offer up to, I think it's like a 13 to 15 SPF, but we really need at least 30 to have decent protection from the sun. Now, you might be concerned, well, I really don't want that whole white glow from my zinc oxide sunscreen. A couple of tips, they do make it pretty well. When I did it, I was white for a little bit, but it did absorb. That's one of the things. It's always recommended with any sunscreen to make sure you're putting it on 15 to 20 minutes before going out in the sun anyways. So if you do allow that, it does absorb in pretty well and you don't have that white cast type of thing. And make sure, even with all these different things, do regular skincare checks. Remember your ABCDE rule. So looking at any moles and things that you have on your body, taking note of them, maybe taking some pictures, and you're looking for that ABCDE, so asymmetry, if it's asymmetric, if the border is changing, if the color is changing, if the diameter is changing, or if it seems to be evolving, kind of changing texture or something like that. Make sure you're watching out for that. Now, there's a lot of indoor tanning and things that people like to do, and I've done that in the past too before, and it can be nice to have that, wonderfully brown skin or whatnot, but it actually, I was just learning, it's typically mainly UVA rays and not the UVB, so you're not getting that like vitamin D aspect to it either. So it's kind of just dangerous. So yeah. So I did look up some faux tanning, like obviously they have some different ones, but I looked up some DIY ones to make sure that they did have real safe ingredients. And one really simple one, and I do have some different like links in this presentation of where I found these. And the one of them was just unscented lotion and cocoa powder. That's it. All right. So that was one of them, and you can adjust it's going to look really dark, but I guess when you're applying it on, it doesn't do that. Have either of you guys tried any sort of like DIY home, like self-tanning lotions or anything like that?
No.
If anybody watching
I
this,
tan pretty well.
nice. If anybody watching this has tried any of those, let me know, comment below either on Instagram or YouTube or whatnot. I would love to hear what you guys use. There's another one here also using lotion and tea. So, and then there was a couple of others that's in the thing on the link there. So if you're wanting to do that and give that a shot, then there's some different options for you. If you really do not want to have, you know, white skin. So one of the things with sun safety, we do want to consider the oils that we're using and applying topically, okay? Because our oils can be, and cause our skin to be photosensitive. So I have the list, and this is from doTERRA's blog, and I actually have it linked onto this side, the blog, the blog post that doTERRA did on photosensitive oils. And so I'm just going to list them out to you. And when you're using these topically on skin that is going to be, you know, exposed to the sun, you want to use them probably in like the evening. You don't want to be in the sun for like 12 hours after you've applied them onto your skin. Okay. So Aroma Touch, bergamot, and I would like, if there's anything that jumps out to you that was interesting to you, surprised you, then let me know. So Aroma Touch, bergamot, Breathe, Cheer, Citrus Bliss, cumin. That one surprised me. I wouldn't have thought cumin. Elevation, Forgive, Grapefruit, Intune. That one I didn't suspect. Kumquat, Lemon, Lime, Motivate, On Guard, Purify, Slim and Sassy, Sunny Citrus, Tangerine, Wild Orange, and Zendocrine. So do you guys notice a theme with the ones that are? Yeah. And does anybody notice kind of a theme, a general theme with a lot of these oils? They tend to be what, like from what kind of plant?
Citrus.
A lot of citruses. So if you don't have it all memorized, or if you can check the label and see what that blend is made out of. And if it has a citrus, I would avoid using it in the sun. The one that you might have thought then would be on here, but is not, is the green mandarin. It's green mandarin, right? Green something or other. Wait, which one is it? I think it's green mandarin. Huh, I just had a brain fart.
Yes, I think it is. It is.
The green mandarin is a wonderful citrus, but it doesn't have that photosensitive aspect. So if you're wanting that citrusy smell in like your moisturizer or something during the summer, then green mandarin would be the way to go. And just be careful of your location, like in different parts of the world. Obviously, if you're closer to the equator, you're going to be closer, literally closer to the sun, right? And so those rays are going to be more prevalent for you. Drinking water is a really important part of protecting our skin and making sure that it's able to regenerate itself. And yeah, keeping hydrated, that's one of the things to help keep our skin. So to prevent peeling as well, making sure that we are staying moisturized and hydrated, like I was saying, that's going to help our skin, if it did have a little bit of sun damage, to not peel and things like that. And perhaps that's why it had some peeling happening earlier. So there's a lot of great stuff to be using after you've been out in the sun. I do have a little recipe thing in here that's linked into this presentation that I got off of the doTERRA blog. There's so much on that doTERRA blog, so much information. Obviously, and everything on there is going to be checked and double checked and backed by science and things like that. So you can really trust it. That's why I really, really like that. Helping this, and so that after sun spray can help your skin heal faster. Some of the other oils that I had up there with the rose and the frankincense and the yarrow palm, that's going to help your skin heal faster as well. So, so yeah, make sure that you sign up for next week's DIY class. We'll actually be making some different things for not just for our skin, but just for fun in the sun in general. And because it's going to be a lot of fun. Do you guys have any questions or comments, anything to add? All righty.
So next week, Lisa, are we going to learn more? Are we going to make some DIYs to, that we would use with lots of sun?
Yeah, there's going to be some after sun care stuff too. I'll get more of the list out and things. There might be more than 8 spots available. I can't remember exactly what was in my little kit of DIY stuff for fun in the sun. So, but yeah.
Cool. That was great.
Well, hopefully that was good, had some good information for you. I will stop recording and yeah.